Today's episode is brought to you by Taft Law and its Franchise Advance Program, a one-of-a-kind program developed by your host, Josh Brown, to help entrepreneurs assess, convert, and grow your business the right way through sound franchise structures. To learn more, go to taftlaw.com and type Franchise Advance Program in the search bar.
If you think like, act like, or are trying to grow like a franchise, then the Franchise Euphoria podcast is for you. Hello and welcome, everybody. Josh Brown here, and I created this podcast for one main goal: to help people who are trying to grow their business through franchising or franchise-like structures to do it the right way. I've been practicing law now as a franchise lawyer for many, many years, and I've seen it done the right way and the wrong way. And this podcast is not filled with a bunch of legal mumbo jumbo. Rather, I talk with real people, people who have been there, have done it, are doing it right now. And I also dive deep into specific topics related to franchising. So if this is of interest to you, you are at the right place. Enjoy. Hello, Joe. Welcome to Franchise Euphoria. How you doing?
Good afternoon. I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for having me.
Well, I'm excited to learn about the Pancheros brand. Yeah, I love Mexican food. And candidly, I don't know a lot about it, so I'm excited to learn. You are the director of franchise development. I think probably a good place to start is tell us how you learned of this brand and how you got involved.
You bet. Well, I grew up in Iowa City. And Iowa City was the first location that Rodney Anderson built out back in 1992. So we'll be having our 30-year birthday this summer. So we're very excited about that. So I learned about it early on as a fan. Then my previous 20 years to Pancheros, I worked at Coca-Cola North America out of Atlanta. And my first 3 or 4 years, I was doing regional accounts, which fortunately enough, Pancheros was one of my customers. So I've got to know Pancheros intimately during that time. But my time at Coca-Cola, those 20 years on national accounts. So I worked with hundreds of franchisees in the DQ, Popeyes, Subway systems, plus others. So I feel I can bring a lot to franchisees out there. I've seen franchisees do it the right way, and I've seen them do it the wrong way. So I think my experience can help with new franchisees that come on board.
So tell us about this Pancheros experience. I mean, kind of describe what's the look and feel of the location. It's fast casual. Yep. So we get that, but talk about what somebody can expect when they walk into a Pancheros.
Well, first of all, you'll walk in and you know, it's an industrial type of look. We hope the locations are incredibly clean. We put a lot of emphasis on that. What we really love is the customer can come in, pick exactly what they want in their burrito or tacos. And that's always makes it great for the employee and for the customer. Not only give exactly what the customer wants, but for the customer to get exactly what they're looking for.
So you walk up and you just walk through essentially a line, right? You walk through and then...
Correct. You get in a line and you come up. You would pick whether you wanted a burrito or a burrito bowl or tacos. And you walk through the line. You go through the line and we fill it for you. You see the person press the fresh tortilla. All tortillas are made in-house. Nothing comes in bagged up. We make that tortilla, press it right in front of you, grill it right in front of you, and they get to put exactly what they want into it. So we hope for a great customer satisfaction.
And you said earlier that this started in 1992 in Iowa City. Yeah.
We're one of the originators of the burrito craze, the way I look at it. We'll be, like I said, celebrating our 30th birthday this August. The majority of the other competitors out in the market did start after us. So I always love to say we're the originator. And when I look at our freshness and simplicity of our system, I think we're one of the best.
When it started out, first location, Iowa City, did it start out as a fast casual or was it more of a sit down?
I think, they had probably 22, 25 seats. So, I would call that, respectable seating. At the time, I don't think, there was probably a lot less takeout than today. The world's changed so much over that time. But Rodney helped over the years develop it and make things, simplified it all along the way. And really in about 2000, 2002 is where we settled into this, where we're at right now, as far as the build outs and the style of the system. And, we're just pumped to continue to grow.
But this is what I like to learn about and hear about on this show too, is that, you take a concept that dates back to 1992, right? So you're pushing 30 years at this point.
Yep.
It was the founder, Rodney?
Yeah, Rodney Anderson.
Is he still involved in the franchise?
100%. His office is a couple down from mine, and he is 100% involved, invested for sure.
Well, no, I mean, I like hearing that, because so often I think there's a misnomer in franchising and in growing brands that you get the founder, the founding entrepreneur, and then at some point in time they step aside and, another group comes in and grows it. And the reality is the true reality and the facts are that most successful brands, if you look as a percentage, the founders are still involved. I mean, the founders evolve along the way, and certainly over 30 years. I mean, there's way too many lessons to talk about here. But certainly, I would imagine that one of the key components to Pancheros being able to be a mainstay for so long, and then ultimately to get into a franchise structure, which I'll talk about here in a few minutes. Clearly, that shows an ability by the founder, Rodney, to be able to adapt to different environments over time.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that, even our history shows that a little bit. The first few years, it was all college towns. Okay. I mean, that was kind of the blueprint at the time. They're still incredibly successful in those towns. However, what we've learned over the time is you spread them out a little bit. You get out in the suburbs, you put a couple of them together, and then you can really build from that moment on.
When did he decide, or when did the team decide to go the franchise route?
I think this thought started in the late 90s. I'm going to say 97, 98, but I don't think we really had our first signing franchisee until the early 2000s. So I've only been around a year on the internal side, but I'm pretty sure that's how it fell out.
Well, and obviously the name of the game in franchising is being able to match up value both ways, the value that the franchisor provides to the franchisees, and then the value that the franchisees provide to the overall system. Talk about what are some of the important aspects that, Pancheros does to differentiate itself, to attract good franchisees, and then also to provide them with, a good, valuable system, operations, marketing, and brand, so that they can hopefully be successful.
Absolutely. I mean, our corporate team here is very experienced in the office from the second that somebody signs on with us. We have a realty expert that helps with that. We have our operations build-out director that sits with them and works with them hand in hand while the entire build-out goes out. Once we have a site chosen, we put together a full checklist for the franchisee. Once you have the site chosen, it's normally 10 to 14 weeks out. We will do a specific daily and weekly calendar to help assist, make everything as simple as possible to get them in the location. Once they are signed on with us, we have an initial 3-day training period that they come into the office, kind of learn the 35,000-mile outlook. Once they do decide to come on in, they have a 3-week full training period. They come on in for 3 weeks. First few days are a lot of sit down, basically classroom work. And then the next 2.5 weeks, they're in one of our locations here, getting fully trained on everything, opening, closing, and everything in between. So that's something we take a lot of pride in. You don't have to have any experience. It always helps. But if you don't, you will be fully trained before your location opens. And once we get to that point, we'll send a full operations team in your first 5-6 days or a week or so, work with you hand in hand to make sure you get off on the right foot, know exactly what's going on, and get that place up and rolling for them. Once they are rolling, we have our operations team out in the field that continues supports them. We are always here for our franchisees at any call, and we have a fantastic marketing team here as well that works with both the company stores and the franchisees.
How many locations you guys have at this point?
We probably opened our 71st location a couple weeks ago in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Got a couple more upcoming, and we have got a lot in the beginning stages right now.
See, Joe, you know what I want to do is I want to see the picture and the look on on the franchisees' faces who have no restaurant experience, and then 6 months after they opened up a restaurant. That's what I want to see. Because
it's eye-opening for sure, and it's got to be scary. But what the simplicity of our system, which I truly love, is we are there hand in hand with them the whole way.
Well, talk about that. Tell us about the simplicity, because I think franchising is all about taking something that is complex, which are, all systems, all marketing, all operations, all know-how of how you run something. It's not as easy as just trying to say, hey, I put it in a box or I put it in a manual and you're just off to the races. There's a sophistication to creating a truly simple process and brand. And as I always tell people, simple doesn't mean easy.
No.
Simple just gives you a good runway and a roadmap to put yourself in the best opportunity for success. So tell us specifically, what is it about Pancheros how have they simplified this in a way to help the franchisees?
You bet. First of all, I love it when you say simple is not easy, right? I agree with that, but simple can be best. So I look at it that way. And once again, it's us partnering with the franchisee. We try to make it simple during their build out, take that stress away from them, be there as a team with them. If we know what their budget is and we're assisting them to stay in their budget, I think that's incredibly important. When it comes to a lease, we're there to help work with the landlord on the lease. And then once again, like I said, once we do have a location picked, we have a full checklist till opening day. So that really simplifies the worry of the build out. On the operations side, simplicity is really where the key has come in. Every employee is trained on every position in the location. It is easy to train them, and then it's very easy to replicate. And if you can replicate quality, you're already halfway down the road. Once you have everybody cross-trained too, it also helps you with your labor footprint. Say somebody doesn't show up for that day. Well, somebody can do two of the jobs, flotating and rotating, and can really help with your labor. And then with our menu, you can't get much easier, I don't think. We have 5 entrees, and they're all fully customizable. And all the ingredients we have for one can go into the other. It's easy on the staff, and it's easy on the staff to give the customer exactly what they want. And that makes our employee happy as well. And then you throw one more thing into our digital. Our digital piece on our app is fantastic, incredibly easy to use. It's friendly for the locations. It's friendly for the users. We were a little ahead of the game on that before the pandemic. So looking forward there, we that was a home run for us, having that digital ready when the pandemic hit.
Oh, yeah. No, that's great. Talk a little bit about the simplification of the menu, because I got to imagine that over 30 years, there's been a lot more than 5 items on the menu.
Oh, yeah.
And I raise that because I think, people listening there's going to be people listening who have restaurants, who have had restaurants for a few years, have had a few locations at this point. And one of the things I routinely see is restaurants that start off and they're known for something. Whatever it is, right? Maybe you're known for the burrito that you have, or the nachos, or whatever the case may be. You're known for something, and then over time, what happens is they've built success on what they've been known for, but there's this itch, and that there's also this consistent ask from customers on, oh, well, you should provide this, or you should add this, and you see these restaurants that have had success from doing a certain thing a certain way really, really well, to now they go and they expand their menu. And now they expand and expand. And while I'm all supportive of trying new things, I think you got to keep things fresh. I think that that's an important aspect. Talk about the simplification of the menu, because I think that's a really important and often overlooked point of not only making for a good franchise brand and making it easier for a franchisee to operate, but here's the real key. It's way better for the bottom line. So can you talk about that for a little bit?
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I just talked with someone last week who was like, Joe, I wish you guys had brown rice. Well, if we put brown rice in, we would have to take something else out. We are keeping it as simple as possible. LTOs are always something that's interesting. We don't do a ton of those because that changes up the system. However, we do have our sizzling shrimp out there right now. So it's not something we never do. However, it's something that we think long and hard before we do it. And when it comes to, Pancheros, we want consistency. And with the products we have now, we can give consistency between each location, whether it's a franchise location or a company-run location. And simplicity is the key. Not only talk about SKUs, and I see some of these, I'm not sure, QSR chains. Now, we're not QSR, but I've worked with them. I mean, they have hundreds of SKUs, and that just seems really complicated in ordering. And I've been in our stores when our folks order, and they're getting full orders in 15 and 20 minutes twice a week.
Well, you got to know what you do, right? You got to know what you do. You got to know who you are. And at the end of the day, having some limited time offers or at least keeping things, changing up things or trying new things a little bit is certainly, just part of a process. But I love the fact that you have a limited menu. If you look across a lot of different fast casual franchise restaurants, there are a lot of successful ones that have very few items on their menu. If you really look at what they have, but they do it really well. And I think what it is, and I think statistics would prove this out, is at the end of the day, the biggest driver for getting somebody back to your restaurant after they've already been there is that they know what to expect. They know the experience that they're going to have, and they're going to have that experience repeat itself over and over again. And part of that is the quality of what you're providing to them.
Absolutely. And consistent, that comes back to the consistency I stated earlier. If I can go to, a location in Lansing, Michigan, and then I go to our location in Cedar Rapids, I expect the same thing. And that's simplicity really helps keep that under control.
So tell me, who's an ideal franchisee for you? I know you guys, you said earlier, you don't have to have experience. You can't have experience. My guess is do you guys offer multi-unit operations? So people operating multiple units?
Absolutely. I mean, and that's really what we're looking to do now. We're looking for an area agreement. And for us, an area agreement would be 3 locations minimum. And it all depends on the population of the area. So we look at that, but we are, right now we're in talks with folks in smaller towns that would only be 1 location. We sure don't shut anything out. But obviously, in our growth, we'd hope to get to 100 locations, 100 quality locations. We're at 71 now. We want to make sure we got the right franchisees. We're not going to set up anybody to fail. So that's really one of our most important parts there. But someone who is in their outlet, we feel that's very important. You don't necessarily have to run the outlet, but we want you in the outlet. We want you being able to talk with your employees, and we want you to get your consumer feedback. And when you're in store, it really does prove a lot to us. And really one of the most important things is being active in your community. We've learned, and I've seen from quality franchisees, that if you're active in your community is going to turn around and support you. So I think that's really one of the most important things, is to be out in the community, supporting your high schools or local colleges or whatever philanthropic opportunities may be out there for you.
So geographically, where are you guys looking to expand? I mean, you got 71 locations. Started off in Iowa City. Do you guys have particular areas you're going after right now?
Well, yeah. I mean, we are really strong in Iowa. So Iowa's about the only state that we're not actively looking. But we are looking to around the upper Midwest, because we're in Minnesota and the Dakotas, and we're looking to expand in those areas. So they're really the 5 states, they're the states around Iowa we're really looking to grow. We're very strong out in the Northeast, New Jersey. I think that was our 11th location that opened there. So we'd love to continue to grow where we have great brand presence. But we're also looking to grow Florida and the Carolinas, and then starting to move a little farther west, starting to look in Montana and Idaho and Nevada. So we are kind of picking and choosing states a little bit, distribution reasons. But as soon as things loosen up here in the next year or so, that we're hoping, we can move a little faster moving west.
All right. So if I walk into a Pancheros and you're directing me, what am I going to order? What's the thing I have to have there?
All I can tell you is what I order, and it's my favorite.
That's good enough for me.
I get the burrito or a bowl, but I love the burrito. It's hard to get the bowl sometimes just because I love the burrito so much, but got to have the rice, got to have the black beans, got to have the chicken. I throw in the sauteed veggies. I throw in the hottest sauce we got. And then if you got the hottest sauce, you have to have the sour cream. So that's basically where I land. My, I work out a ton, so I need the carbs from the rice, and I need the protein from the beans and the meat. And I'll even throw in an extra scoop of our tofu product just to get that extra protein.
Do you guys have a number of different hot sauces?
Oh yeah, we've got fantastic hot sauces. By the way, all made in house. Once again, every day. We do have them bottled up.
See, I love to hear that. I mean, I love hot sauces, and I know it's like a club. I mean, people who are hot sauce fanatics, but the fact that you make those in-house, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we do have some bottled for when we cater, but generally it is made in-house, as everything is, our guacamole as well, and everything. It's very easy to say that we put everything together from simple recipes in-house every day.
Well, Joe, you're making me hungry. I mean, you're making me hungry as we talk about.
I'm getting hungry now. I haven't had lunch yet either, so it's working good.
Well, let me ask you a couple more questions here. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
Tell me, I mean, obviously over the last couple of years, we've seen a lot of shifting with labor markets and a lot of different things going on there. And in the fast casual world, typically one of the advantages is you don't have to rely as much on the number of people. How many in a typical shift, I would say, are required in a Pancheros to make it run?
We have 7 positions, so obviously we'd like to have a minimum of 7 during the busy times. But that can jump up to 10 or 11, 12 during busy times. But you can also get away with maybe 3 or 4 people during the slower times as well. So it's a good balance. And when everybody knows every position in the restaurant, it makes it a lot easier to manage your labor that way.
And that includes the kitchen, right? Out of those 7?
Yep.
That's great. No, I mean, I think that's a big issue, especially for people contemplating getting in, because it is a challenge to not only find people, keep people, and obviously the less people you have to worry about in that situation, the better if you can still run, and dealing with people who may be calling in, may not show up. I mean, I'm hearing a lot of that with my clientele.
Oh yeah.
And I'm sure you are as well.
I don't think anybody's escaped that truly right now. I don't think anybody's escaped it, but I think we're designed to help work through it with how we're designed and everyone knowing each position, and kind of puts us in the right place to help compete.
Well, for anybody who's interested in learning more, what's the best place to reach out?
Pancheros.com has got everything you'd need. It's got an entire franchising tab, and my cell phone's out there. So once you get out to the site and check things out, if you're interested, my cell phone's right there, and they can call me anytime.
Yeah, you don't have any in Indianapolis, do you? Or Indiana?
No, we did early on, and it was actually a very successful location. But the family ended up retiring, and if you're interested, I'd love to talk to you.
We got to get you back here, man. I mean, we got to get. I would say we have a few good Mexican restaurants. But yeah, it sounds like there would be a good opportunity here. Yeah, I mean, I know obviously you're already in the Midwest.
Yep.
And getting into Indiana would probably be a good thing. So yeah, we can circle back offline. I might know some people as well.
Oh, so. I'd love that, and I'll talk to anyone. And I'd give you my cell right now if you want it. Doesn't bother me any.
I'll let people reach out. Pancheros.com would probably be best for you. You can thank me later.
Oh, hey, I will. I'd be happy to. Be happy to.
All right. Thanks, Joe. It's been a pleasure to talk to you. Again, the concept sounds really good. I like the fact it's been around for approaching 30 years now.
Yeah.
Obviously, and it's really with a focus, as you indicated, on simplicity, getting down to the core of what it does really, really well with the different entrees. So yeah, I wish you nothing but the best of luck with that. And it sounds like, you got 71 under your belt. You've got momentum, right? I mean, as I tell people, it takes a while in franchising to build up momentum, but 71's a good number, and you certainly have a good past to build off of. So thank you so much, and nothing but the best of luck to you in the future.
Oh, well, thank you, Josh, for having me on, and Pancheros, appreciate you.
Thank you so much for tuning into another episode of Franchise Euphoria. If you enjoyed it, please head over to Apple Podcasts and leave a rating and review. It really helps to get this show out to more and more people. Also, if you have any questions, have ideas for guests or topics, please email me, josh@indyfranchiselaw.com. That's josh@indy, INDY, franchiselaw.com. And finally, please note that this podcast is for entertainment and educational purposes and is not in any way, shape, or form meant to be any kind of legal advice. If you're seeking legal advice, please contact a lawyer. Have a great one. Happy franchising.